Hello, I'm Jim, and welcome to Rallying in America, the Recce Podcast. This podcast is an exploration of a rich history, the stories and memories of those who made and make Rallying in America so great. Enjoy the show. This week, I welcome Ethan Hunter of Really Rally Team, based out of Colorado. We talk about growing up in a motorsports family, circle track racing, hill climbs, rallying, and much more. Ethan, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
And you're part of the Really Rally Team.
We're really rallying.
Really rallying. So, who's on the team, and what's everyone's roles?
So the team consists of, mainly crew. It's just me and my co-driver. He's going to be a new co-driver this next year, Alex Augustine. Myself, Ethan Hunter, the driver. And then we got a crew, Angelo, Dylan, my dad, my mom. We got a good group of guys and mechanics and know-how behind us from lots of different backgrounds of motorsports. So we got a really solid crew. We're kind of the misfits. We're kind of all, we're all, degenerates in our own way. But we work really well together, and we also party even better together.
Hey, awesome. Well, that's key, right? You guys get along, so.
Yeah, and I don't know why we came up with the Really Rally Team. We just, it's so hard coming up with names, You could sit there and bang your head against the wall and to try to figure out a good name, but for whatever reason, we all just kind of like, well, we're really rallying. Yeah. Let's do it. We never really thought we could rally, growing up in America as like a circle track person. And, you just kind of always thought that rally was overseas or, just not here, So we just kind of always skimmed past that. My mom always said, hey, you would be a great rally driver. But we just never, when I was 5 years old, looking into getting my first race car, we don't even know how we would have even found rally, that was in 90, in the early 2000s. So the internet was still, there was no social media back then. There was no way to even know that rally existed in America.
Right.
So that was always, my past was circle track. So that's kind of the way we went, and that was what my family knew, and that's kind of what I grew up doing. And then obviously now with social media, you can see, Texas Dave doing cool stuff, and KJ Miller doing his stuff. So now that stuff's available, and once we found out, like, hey, you can go do this, like anybody can go do this. Yeah, we were like, let's go.
Right. Very cool. Mm-hmm. So how many rallies have you done?
So we've only done 2 rallies this year. This is my inaugural year. We've only done 2 rallies. Nice. Snowdrift was my first. Mm-hmm. So my first rally ever was at night while snowing.
With flamethrowers. Really yeah, with flamethrowers.
Exactly. So we had a great time at Snowdrift, minus us, getting some rod knock during one of the stage. I think it was like stage 5 or 6. Mm-hmm. We got rod knock and tried to push it through. And it ended up exploding the motor. Ooh. But gosh, we wanted to do Bonfire Alley so bad, we drove 24 hours to go to Bonfire Alley and we missed it, So oh, no. It's heartbreaking for sure, but it just gives us even more reason to go back next year.
Right. And what was the second rally you did?
The second rally was the one at our hometown, Colorado. It's a super regional, it's not a national, but, it kind of felt like a national, minus maybe, Park Expose. Everything else felt super national level, didn't feel like a regional at all.
Well, Travis Pastrana, Rihanna, and Gelsomino were there.
Correct. Yeah.
So that probably helped give it that feel of...
Yeah, and Booth was there in a Skoda too, so it's nice to have somebody like that to, set pace.
Right. Yeah, it's very cool. Tell us about the car.
So I got it's an old X car from his name's Matt Turner in the Washington area. His crew is called Nameless Performance. He works for Nameless Performance. It's Dirty
Mm-hmm.
Paw Motorsports. He builds subframes for all the NA cars and open class cars. So he builds like front subframes and rear subframes for all the rally
Okay.
cars, tubular and lower control arms, upper control arms, stuff like that. So I got my car from him after he had already driven it, through 5 or so rallies, maybe
Okay.
more. So the car was already tried and true and tested. Like I said, it's got all of his own subframes and tubular stuff on it, so the suspension's really nice on it. The car is very sorted. You can just tell that the car, when you enter the corner, it feels really good.
Nice.
Going in, the center off, it feels really planted the whole time. So,
Mm-hmm.
got a really solid unit from him. And we've just kind of done our bits and pieces to it. Now we just put a brand new engine in it because we put a hole in the block.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah, we ended up having to build a new motor, but local guys in Colorado, we've got, I don't know, probably 10 million Subarus here.
Yeah, yeah, I bet.
So we're definitely one of the leaders in Subarus per capita for sure. So we were able to source a turbo block and do a high compression build in and yeah, it makes 148 to the wheels at elevation.
Nice.
It's nothing crazy, but it's super reliable.
Right.
And so far, it's been really great. We were sitting in second place in the Rally Colorado before I had a fuel line rupture. The
Okay.
rubber hose line that goes right after your fuel pump that connects the fuel pump to the hard line of the car, the hard fuel line.
Yeah.
That rubber piece ended up splitting and rupturing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So lost all fuel pressure. I mean, the fuel pump was working. I was trying to do everything. I was priming it. I'm on the side of the road trying to do the rally special, and got the engineers on the phone, just trying to yelling at them, trying to see what's going on and what I can do. But gosh, we couldn't fix that. We didn't even know until we got back to service
right.
what it
Okay.
was.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but yeah.
So, what are your future rallies that are coming up?
So we've had a pretty tough year. My year started out in February or January. We went to, it's called a Chili Willy race. It's a 200 lap race in Arizona. It's called a super late model. So it's like a circle track NASCAR style car.
Oh, okay.
And I ended up getting my nose taken off from a lap down car and sent me into the wall. And I totaled that car.
Oh, no.
And then I blew up the Subaru. And then 4th of July weekend, I was doing a drifting demo. And it was in the middle of the night, 4th of July, and we had fireworks strapped to the car. So I couldn't see very good. And ended up hitting a pole and kind of totaled that car too. So it's like, do I want to keep, totaling all these cars and keep racing and then Rally Colorado, we were doing so good at the rally, second place. I could taste the champagne, and we had 2 stages left. And
wow.
All I was going to do, I had 3 minutes on third place. So all I was going to do was just cruise on through, nab the podium and, enjoy the rest of the season. But maybe there's just a sign telling me, hey, this year ain't your year. Let's just focus on, getting the cars 100% prepped.
Right.
And that kind of gave me the idea of let's not drive any more race cars until January 1st of 2026.
There you go. Well, that gives you time, to get the car really prepped and dialed in. And
yep. So I sent out my suspension. I have older DMS suspension. If you guys are in the rally scene, you guys know that, DMS suspension is really hard to get rebuilt. I sent it to Paul, one of the admins in the North America Rally Group. He's like, "Hey, send them my way. I'll buy some stuff from scratch, and I'll get you fixed up." So,
cool.
He's rebuilding my DMS suspension as we speak. The car's at the paint shop, getting all the green taken off of it because that's bad luck too. So it's getting painted white, and then we're gonna wrap it a wrap that we haven't unveiled yet.
Oh, very cool.
Yep.
So being down in Arizona for circle track and that, do you know Fritz Croy?
I don't. That was my first time in Arizona racing.
Oh, okay.
A lot of new guys that I've never met down there. Super cool facility. And especially to get out of the cold weather. Yeah. In January.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yep.
So your family has been in motorsports, it sounds like, for quite some time. So did you get it from your dad, or did it go, multiple generations, or how did it get it all? How did it get started?
Gosh, I really didn't have a choice. My mom did a little bit of flat track motorcycle racing.
Oh wow.
Um, my grandpa did on her side, did top fuel dragster racing back in the 60s, front engine
Uh huh.
top fuel. And then my dad raced circle track. And then they once they had me, there was really no option for myself.
Right. Yeah, no
So
escape from it.
pick
Not that you
something.
would
So
want to, but yeah.
that's right. That's right. So yeah, I mean, super lucky. I give it all up to them. I wouldn't be half the race car driver I am today without my family. So,
Yeah.
got to give it up to them.
Awesome. So your family's been involved in a level of NASCAR.
We
Tell us
do.
about that.
It's called weekly series. So, the weekly series of NASCAR would be like our super late model races that we do touring.
Uh huh.
Like Kevin Harvick was just at our track,
Nice.
signing auto. To get to race against people like Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott,
Hmm.
Corey LaJoy. Gosh, I'm just trying to name them off the top of my head. Some of these NASCAR drivers that they'll always jump down to come race super late models because our super late models have 200 extra horsepower than a NASCAR Cup car.
Wow. That's
We
fast.
have more power, we have more tire,
Hmm.
and they're just more fun. It's a traditional stock car.
Hmm.
So they're always going to want to jump down and run these. We call them weekly series, NASCAR weekly series. So,
Okay.
um, yeah, when Kevin Harvick's there, the autograph line is just about as long as Travis Pastrana's.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, he's pretty popular. So, then you've also family's done Pikes Peak.
Correct. Yeah, my uncle did Pikes Peak on his motorcycle one year, and my sister, they didn't really allow her to do that. My parent or her grandparent, my grandparents, her parents
Hmm.
didn't allow her to do the Pikes Peak on her motorcycle, but my uncle was able to, and yeah, I did Pikes Peak my first time 2 years ago. So
Okay.
I've done Pikes Peak 2 times in a row now.
And was that on a motorcycle or four wheel
Mine is in
car?
a more traditional stock car, like a NASCAR style a car. They don't. I think they quit doing the motorcycles about 3 to 5 years ago. They quit doing the motorcycles.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So just four wheels now. But they still have like open cockpit cars, and stuff like that.
Right.
So
Okay.
because this year they had like a modified UTV that was pretty cool to watch. There's always something cool at Pikes Peak.
Oh yeah, it's pretty amazing. How many different types of vehicles they have and classes and everything.
Yeah, I love being paired up against the Ford Performance all electric, you know,
Oh yeah.
3,000 horsepower monster.
Oh yeah. They
That's in
have.
my class.
Yeah. Ford has a minivan that's all electric that they do at Goodwood,
Yeah.
and I think this year it was like the fastest, vehicle on the track. It's kind of funny to see a minivan lowered and all that.
Gosh, if anybody can to be around that car when it's starting up in the mornings, it's like, the future of motorsports is crazy.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Transformers turning on. They got dry ice on the coolers of the front. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's really cool to watch that thing warm up in the morning.
We'll be right back. Power up your ride. Daily driver, bike, or track beast with Melee Design Firm. Since 2018, Melee has been the go-to source for high-performance battery mounts and power solutions trusted by enthusiasts and professionals alike. Whether you're carving corners on the weekend, commuting to work, or chasing podiums, they have the gear to keep you powered and ready. Their lightweight universal battery mounts are engineered for performance, crafted with precision, and designed to handle whatever you throw their way. They don't just make and sell parts, they build confidence under the hood. Rugged, industrial, functional. That's the Melee difference. Join thousands of satisfied drivers who refuse to settle for stock. Upgrade your battery game today. Now back to the show. So what do you think? Do you think eventually everything will be all electric, or do you think you know there'll still be a lot of gasoline powered vehicles out there in the future?
I there are some electric cars that you just can't beat.
Right.
I
Oh
don't
yeah.
think I don't want to say it's better because it isn't. I think it's the worst thing for a spectator is to hear a buzzing bee fly by. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we got to hear the sounds and the clicks and the clanks, and there's nothing that's going to beat a straight cut gear drivetrain. A
Right.
dog box and a quick change drivetrain, and a V8 or an open turbo motor, powering it. There's just nothing that's going to beat that sound, in my opinion. I
Right.
mean, but the world's going to do what the world's going to do, right?
Yeah. Well, there's the advent of synthetic fuels too. So I imagine, for someone like me who loves internal combustion, I'm sure it'll be around for quite some time, which will be good.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
And I like the alternative fuel stuff, running the 85, we tried to run the 85 in the stock car one time, trying to do something different, more
Oh, okay.
unconventional because, in the stock car world, we're running 112 or 110 gas. Like
Yeah.
that's it. There is no other question. That's just what you run, right? So, um, it was tough. We had our battles with it, but I do like the alternative fuel stuff. I think there is a future in that, and
Yeah.
if any company wants to do that and rally, hey, hit me up.
Yeah. So with the E85, that's pretty high, obviously high in ethanol. So, but with the older NASCAR type cars, they were probably built to handle those fuels, were they? Or
Correct. Yeah, the only thing we changed, because it's a carbureted motor, so we changed the carburetor out,
hmm
and the fuel lines, and we called the fuel cell manufacturer, and they said it was good for even methanol,
oh,
up to
okay,
50% methanol, which
yeah,
is more corrosive than ethanol anyway. So they
yeah,
said you'll be fine. So yeah, we tried that, and it worked okay. We just had a lot of issues getting the fuel warm on those early mornings.
okay,
Yeah, and just you were here in Colorado, and we race all the way until we're racing this weekend. They're racing this weekend.
yeah,
I'm sitting in my house, but they're racing this weekend, and it was like 50 degrees this morning. So
yeah,
it's super hard to get a car like that, a carbureted car with 15 and a half to 1 compression to start in the mornings.
yeah, okay,
It's just turning over like it's just fighting you every crank.
yeah. So, what does the elevation do to a car like that, or even a rally car at higher elevations?
Well, so we race from anywhere from 7,000 feet all the way up to, Pikes Peak is 14,000 feet. That's the
Yeah,
most extreme.
yeah,
At Pikes Peak, I can tell you my bone stock Miata that I just kind of cruise around.
hmm
By the time I'm getting up there, I'm in first gear, almost wide open, just to get up some of these hills. And that's to get up to like 35, 40 miles an hour.
Oh wow, okay,
So it drains power like you wouldn't believe. But that's at a dramatic level.
yeah,
Down here at 7,000 feet, which is Colorado Springs, we're a mile high, a
yeah,
little more than a mile high. Um, it's you have to tune your car. I mean, we're changing jets. We're going up or down. If we're racing here compared to Vegas
yeah,
or compared to somebody like Texas or something, we're going up or down 2 sizes, back and forth
okay,
on the jets. And then my rally car just it has a mass airflow sensor or a map sensor. That
right,
all those
yeah,
cars are going to have that. So you really don't notice it on the tune as much. I know the pro teams are going to retune their cars when they get here, but for an NA Subaru, we just take it down there and
okay,
just watch
yeah,
the AFRs and watch the data. And if the AFRs are good, we like to take our AFRs. Little spec Miata. We do a little spec Miata racing too, and
yeah,
you always want to check your AFRs at the longest straightaway at the most wide open point of it. So
okay,
we'll try to take it out there third or fourth gear at the very very top of third or fourth gear. If the AFRs are good, then we're going to send it.
okay, very nice, nice. So, um, we still have the same crew for next year. You think at Snowdrift, and pretty much your team is pretty well solid and have the
Yeah, this
time
crew's been
flexibility.
with me for about 5 years now. And we've done so much together. We've already made so many memories, and everybody's so bonded together. I mean, this group ain't breaking up anytime soon.
Right. Nice. So with doing the rally, I imagine crew-wise, it really doesn't change too much from all the different types of racing that you do. Are there any real differences in kind of how you operate the team between, Pikes Peak or the older NASCARs and the rally?
Yeah, you want to try to bring as much, motorsports knowledge as you can into everything you do.
Yeah.
And so that's why, our crew's really diverse, and, we can kind of adapt to whatever we need that weekend, right? Whether we're working on a spec Miata, a NASCAR, or a rally car. So, my crew, I can tell you, when we had a service at the Rally Colorado, which is a super rough road, huge rocks, bunch of shale, just a really gnarly road. We ended up getting a torn axle boot and had a couple other issues. I can't remember off the top of my head. They changed everything so fast. Within 15 minutes, the car was back on the ground with a new axle in it. So,
very nice.
I don't know how fast the other teams could go do it, but I was very, very impressed with my crew, and I was super stoked to call them mine.
Right. Okay. Any other racing that you've done in the past that you want to chat about? Or is that pretty much what you've done? Tell us a little bit about the drifting, if you could, too.
Yeah, we did the Formula Drift back in 2016. That was extremely fun. That was back when, the drifting was on the up and up, and, everybody wanted to be the next, DK,
Right.
And gosh, I feel like I was the DK of my hometown, but, as new kids come up, there's new DKs, right? So, and for all the new kids, that means Drift King. That was a Formula Drift, Tokyo Drift reference.
Right, yeah.
So, the Formula Drift, that was awesome. And the drifting, I think what really helped me the most with the rally would be honestly, some of the RC car stuff that I do. I do a lot of 8th scale open wheel buggy racing. And that's where you're hitting jumps. You're on different types of dirt. You're on different types of shocks and tires and stuff like that. So, having a little bit of everything background related, the rally, and then also like doing a little bit of sprint car racing, growing up, that helped. Anything on the dirt, I've noticed, has really translated over to the rally a lot more than, the only thing we can bring from NASCAR over to rally is just motorsports, knowledge in general. There's really not much that our NASCAR crew and the rally crew, even though they're the same crew, on different weekends, everybody's role is so different on those weekends. You really can't even compare the two.
Right.
And that's why it's so fun to watch, a Formula One guy drive a rally car and a rally guy drive a Formula One car, because the worlds are so different. It's so hard to be diverse, and that's why it's so much fun to be able to dabble a little bit in everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's great. And I imagine, especially with your crew too, that knowledge of even motorcycles and everything else would lend itself to troubleshooting. So trying to figure out what was going on with the vehicle, that knowledge and that experience must be tremendous. So I'm not surprised that you could, change things out in 15 minutes and get back to it. So.
Right. Yeah. Car's a car.
Yeah, it is.
And Subarus when they say Subarus are Legos, I mean, they really are.
Yeah. Yeah. So my only experience with Subaru is I had a Baja, 2003 Baja, and the head gasket started to go. So I thought, I can do this. So I pulled the engine, did everything, got it in, quadruple checked the timing, new timing belt, put a new fuel pump, got everything in. And just a freak thing, I guess a keyway or something on one side broke, and just threw all the valves up into the head or something. And that was just a freak thing, I think, that happened. So fortunately, I had a mechanic who said, I'll buy it from you. I've got a wrecked Subaru station wagon, the LL Bean model, I guess it was. He goes, oh, the engine will go right into it, so I'll buy the shell from you and put it in. So recently I had an old beater for my daily, a Saturn Aura, which we got for free, and the timing chain jumped, and the same mechanic's like, oh, just put a new engine in it. And I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't seem... I'm done. Once bitten, twice shy sort of thing, but I imagine that would be a piece of cake for you and your crew to, no problem swap parts in and out, including the whole engine right in your Subaru. So, but for me, lack of experience and not having someone to work with, that's a little intimidating. So I'm done with Subarus for a little while.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it's always easier with your mates, if you got your boys and a couple beers around, it's a little easier.
Yeah, and that's usually how it is, but it just happened that everyone was so busy when the Subaru started to go, and I'm like, okay, I think I got this. I'll watch some YouTube videos, no problem. And it started up and everything after I had it finished, and then ready to take it out of the garage, and it was a keyway that had to do, on the passenger side that cracked or broke and sheared off, which was a real freak thing. So,
and that's what I like about the rally cars. I had to buy a brand new engine for the rally car, and people were like, just go to the junkyard and throw one in there, and I like that idea. I love that, you can just throw stuff in there, but when you're going to travel, 20 something hours or go somewhere real far to go racing, I don't want to rely on, the unknowns, so I got a brand new, engine built, and, top to bottom, it was about $6,000 for a high compression built motor. I'm like, my gosh, that's awesome. For a racing motor, gosh, Spec Miata motors are $10,000.
Oh, so, wow. Okay.
And then some of the other racing, like a sprint car motor runs about $60,000.
Wow.
So could you imagine putting that thing together and having that thing go apart on you right away?
I'd break down. Yeah. I'd have a nervous breakdown probably.
Gosh, so I love that about the Subarus. Just being able to, throw them all together and, put a brand new motor in it for $6,000 and know what's in there.
Yeah.
Gosh, you can't beat that, in motorsports.
So what's your daily driver? What do you drive around?
I got real big Altima energy, so I drive a Nissan Altima. So I'm cutting up through traffic. I don't usually look when I'm changing lanes or use my blinkers. I'm just a heathen out there. No, just kidding. But I do. That's what I drive. I stopped driving all the cool cars. I'm almost 30 now, and I feel like I'm getting older and doing exactly what my dad said I was going to do, and that's drive a normal car every day and have a bunch of race cars. So, my girlfriend drives an Evo 10. That's her daily, so I get to jump in that and rip around in that every once in a while. But and then I have a little '03 Miata. When it's nice and sunny out, we'll drop the top and go take a cruise. So just nothing crazy on the street anymore. Those days are long gone. Especially now. You can't even. I just heard a story this weekend. This guy got caught by a drone going 142 miles an hour. He didn't even know he was being chased.
Oh wow, okay.
And all of a sudden now he's getting arrested and going to jail.
Yeah, I'm on my son. I commute with him back and forth to work sometimes. I do some carpentry work, and I've been helping a friend restore one of his farm buildings. And my son bought I think it's a 2011 Crown Vic Police Interceptor.
Nice.
And it's still black and white, still has a lot of the decals. Obviously it doesn't say police on it, but he likes to push it. He likes to get up to about 100 on the highway. And, I'm always preaching to him, dude, you got to slow down. But hopefully He'll get his first ticket, then that'll maybe slow him down a little bit. I don't know. We'll see.
That's right. You just got to make it through your teens, and then you got to make it through your younger 20s, and then hopefully make it to your 30s.
That's right. Yeah, definitely. So
all the wrinkles on my parents' face are probably from my streetcars as a younger kid.
Really? What before the Ultima, what were some of the cars that you had as a kid?
So in high school, I had a Evo 10. That's always been my thing. I got an Evo 10 rally car getting built right now too.
Oh,
for
cool.
The limited class. The only thing that's been done to it so far is just a roll cage. We've stripped it and put a big rally cage in.
Oh, okay.
So far, that's all we've done, but we're going to start tinkering on that this winter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, always been an Evo guy. I've had multiple Evos. I had a 650 wheel horsepower Evo.
Wow.
When I was probably about 18, 19 years old.
Oh, that would make me nervous. Yeah.
Total recipe for disaster. Yeah. Yeah. So, but then, DSM life, I had a laser, like a first gen Chrysler laser.
Oh, yeah.
And those things were super awesome. It was rat infested, but I didn't care. I just drove it anyways and, jumped it with my buddies in the back and the hatch would open. Yeah. Just so glad that I didn't kill anybody or kill myself.
Right. So, with your parents, being into motorsports, motorcycles, and everything, what kind of cars did they drive?
So my mom drives an F Sport Lexus. She's always been a Lexus girl.
Yeah. Okay.
So she drives an F Sport. My dad drives my dad actually works at a dealership, so he gets a dealer loaner. He switches out. He's in a new vehicle, he puts 2,000 miles on it.
Oh wow.
And then they trade it in and sell it as like a used or a new vehicle still as a demo. So he just drives demos around. I've known him as a guy that's driven a demo ever since I could remember. So he's always driven those. And then we got a lowrider. He has like a 1992 Chevy 1500 lowrider.
Yeah, okay.
And my mom absolutely hates it, but me and my dad like it. So yeah, he'll cruise that around every once in a while too.
Yeah, very nice. Good.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck over the winter, getting your car and cars ready for snowdrift.
Yep.
And we really look forward to seeing how you do. And,
I'd love to come do another update with you after, maybe after snowdrift we can do an update. I plan on doing all 8 national rallies next year. So.
Oh yeah, I would love to catch up with you again after some of those rallies. That'd be great.
Yeah, hopefully we can talk about Bonfire Alley.
Yeah, hope so. Hopefully, yeah. I'm sure I'm sure you've figured things out, and you'll have plenty of time over the winter to get things taken care of. So I really appreciate you coming on, and thanks for your time this evening. And we'll touch base again.
Thanks for having me, Jim.
Oh, you're welcome. If you'd like to be on the podcast, you can email me, jim@jimboothdesigns.com, or message me through Facebook at Rallying in America, the Recce Podcast, or Instagram, rallying_in_America. Special thanks to Brady Instruments, pro-grade, handmade, professional fuel hydrometers. Visit bradyinstruments.com for all of your fuel testing needs. Thanks to Toontank and the artist Nuclear Wave for the podcast theme music.